Rich Tehrani with TMC here. Thanks for watching. We're at Interop 2013. I'm speaking with Erik from HP. Erik, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rich. It's great to be here. Thanks for having us go through our demos.
It's our pleasure. With that set up, let us start with the first one.
Okay, let's go through it. So we'll pick right here. We'll start off with our virtual services router. Can I steal you?
This is part of the fun of doing live demos at Interop. This is what an attendee would see, so you're getting this live sneak peek at Interop.
All right, so with me here is Spencer Menard. He's part of our global product line management organization. And so the first demo we're going to show you is around the virtual services router. So this is really exciting and a part of our Flex Fabric announcements that we just made last week. So the virtual services router is basically taking our router platform and virtualizing it, literally putting it on a virtual machine. And so this is really changing the way customers and companies look at the way they do routing, because now instead of needing this physical appliance, they can actually virtualize the router. So I thought we could have Spencer walk us through just briefly what we're doing with the virtual service router and most importantly, what we're demonstrating for customers.
Now, would you consider this SDN?
This is part of SDN, but this is really, this is part of, when you talk about software-defined networking, this could be looked at as part of it, but really this is a little, I would say almost a side story, just because this is, for us, more of a, in most cases, like a service provider play and a service provider edge story.
Very cool. Spencer?
All right, thank you. So here, what we're gonna show is a brief demo of the technology. What we have simulated here is a branch to data center connectivity with VSR running on server hardware on both ends of the WAN. So Ethernet-based WAN with a client and a server on either end, a client at the branch, server at the data center. So this is what the network topology looks like from a VMware perspective. Okay, what we're going to show here is the branch and data center VSR interfaces. So as you can see, this looks just like a regular router. Same regular router interface, same directory structure, managed just like a physical router can be managed, except that it's taking advantage of x86 COTS hardware. So
commercial off-the-shelf technology. What is the S?
Commercial
server.
Off-the-shelf. Yeah.
Commercial off-the-shelf. Right.
That's right. There you go. So it speeds up your time to deployment. You can typically get access to this hardware a lot faster than you can get access to a traditional hardware-based router or hardware-based switch. So that's the cool part. It also gives you the ability to rapidly deploy any other services you want to deploy to a branch that's virtualized. It literally in a matter of seconds.
Now you also mentioned x86, but you guys are leaders, pioneers in ARM in servers, and so down the road we may even have ARM solutions which this would work with.
That's right. There could be potential applications with the Moonshot project and ARM-based servers as well, that's correct.
Okay, back to you.
All right, so here we are on the data center side. You can see I have an OSPF network set up over an Ethernet-based WAN. So you can see the peer information here from the data center to the server, to the branch. Same look and feel as a regular physical hardware router. I'm accessing this through a console, however, you could telnet or SSH to this remote device, just like a regular physical hardware. Same capabilities. Now, I'll have the client at the branch ping the server that he's going to connect to. This could be a file server, SharePoint, Microsoft Exchange, the Lync. So we have basic connectivity over the network. Now let's say this branch, I want to deploy WAN optimization as well. I don't want to have to buy a physical appliance, ship it to the site, pay an IT guy to fly out to the site and connect everything up. Literally, in a matter of seconds, I can deploy this service to the remote site. I have a template built. I went online, purchased a Riverbed virtual steelhead, in this case for the purposes of the demo. You go through a few configuration steps here. Select the interfaces you want it to participate in on the branch virtual switch. And literally, in a matter of about 20 seconds, I'm deploying a WAN optimization device to this remote branch. You could also templatize this type of deployment model and deploy through vCenter to hundreds of branches at a time. So it's really, really cool. It speeds time to deployment and speeds time to revenue. So it's really cool.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Eric, what's next?
So Rich, as I mentioned before, a lot of our announcements were around last week were around the Flex Fabric, which is our data center solutions. And so the next few demos that we'll show you are really focused on the data center. One I'm going to show you first is more SDN related. You asked about if the virtual services router was SDN. That's not as much SDN as what we're going to show you here. This really gets into this is really our first real-world SDN application that we're highlighting and showcasing for customers. It's been deployed at customers. We actually have some customers that have been joining us here from one specifically from a grammar school in Australia who has deployed this exact application in the school. So we're going to take you through and show you what we call it Sentinel, and it's really the first SDN application that we came out of the gate with, and we'll be able to show you a demonstration of it.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, like I said, this is like being a live attendee here at Interrupt. This is what you do. If you're a top customer, you come to the booth, and people scatter so that you can see demos. Here goes.
So we're back here. So I want to introduce you. This is Ruben Iglesias. He's one of the technical marketing engineers from HP Networking, and has been focused on the Sentinel application. So as I mentioned, this is the real world SDN using OpenFlow, and actually a real use case scenario that our customers have already deployed. So Ruben, maybe you can just walk them through a little bit about the Sentinel application and then give a quick demonstration.
Okay, no problem. So basically what Sentinel does is it sits on top of an OpenFlow controller. And the goal is to control the traffic generated by the clients and block all traffic that could be going to sites in the world that are known to have malware or different threats. So the way it does it is very good because it takes advantage of OpenFlow, and in the end it distributes all the blocking function on all the access ports. So, but you need OpenFlow to do that. The way this works is when you get a request for DNS or a new IP packet coming through the access device, it is redirected to Sentinel. So Sentinel checks that domain name or IP address against a large database that we have as part of our tipping point database. So in that database, it checks if that site has a bad reputation. If that happens, it returns an OpenFlow message and blocks that traffic at the access port.
So really we're using SDN for security.
Exactly. So that's the application. And this is a good example of how you can use OpenFlow to improve the way you use your access devices, or any device actually. But in this case, we are applying OpenFlow and SDN for security.
Thank you so much. This was great.
You're welcome.
So Eric, we're ready.
Okay.
What's next? That was really cool. SDN and security. I love it.
So this next one we're going to go to, we'll start walking this way, is a new SDN application that we just announced a few weeks ago, and it's a joint project with Microsoft. So one of the key applications that customers are running is Microsoft Lync. And this really takes it to a new level because this application allows us to really manage the quality of service, the quality of a link discussion or conversation across the entire network. So this takes it to a whole new level from an application view perspective. It allows us to not just be application aware, but really be application fluent. So it really makes a difference. Now what we can do is literally from an endpoint all the way back to the Lync application, we can dynamically assign a bandwidth, dynamically manage the traffic to let us do this. So I'm joined today by Eric Holton, and he is one of the technical marketing engineers on our team and has been involved in this Lync demonstration. And so Erik, maybe you can just take them through just a brief description of, and I kind of did a very brief one, but a brief description about what we're doing, and then also show them the actual demonstration. I think most people will see, it'll hit home for a lot of people because many people use Lync daily, whether it's for voice or for desktop sharing, and this it really shows the power of SDN and the power of being able to control the network from end to end.
Okay. Great, welcome, thanks for joining me. So I'm gonna bring this up and hopefully we can see this as well as me, maybe. Okay, so what we've developed is an SDN application integrated with Lync. It was a collaborative effort with Microsoft. Microsoft developed an API that can inform our network controller about a new video call, a new voice call, a new desktop sharing call. But based on that information, we can then use that to program the network to improve the quality of service for that communication. So today, we're all used to really slow or dropped calls or screens that take forever to paint. How do we improve that? And it's really difficult today because all of these clients are running on your PCs. It's very difficult to prioritize that traffic because there's no easy way to identify what that traffic is. But because of this integration, Lync is actually telling us what that call is, and based on that, we can then push the QoS settings via the OpenFlow protocol to prioritize that on the network. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So now we're using SDN and OpenFlow to prioritize real-time communications.
Absolutely, yeah. We're using SDN and OpenFlow to improve the experience in a Lync environment. But today we're demoing Lync. This could be just as true for Skype, for any other application on your network. It could be a database application, could be your CRM application, whatever. Today we're just using Lync because it's the first opportunity we've had to do that demo.
So really like application performance management then?
Absolutely, yeah, using SDN. But we're integrating all the way from the business application all the way to the user, right? We're actually letting this business application have influence on how the network performs.
Excellent, thank you so much for your time.
So you want to see the demo? Should we actually run through the demo?
Yeah, sure, I think we got about, can you do it in 30 seconds?
No, it'll take me probably a minute and a half.
All right, give me the abridged version of the minute and a half. Compromise, I'll meet you at 60 seconds.
Okay.
In the meantime, while you're setting that up, I'm just going to give a brief synopsis of what we've seen. So most people don't think of SDN as applications. We think of it as just a different way of routing packets on a network. But what we're seeing now is a whole slew of new apps that can take advantage of the fact that software is able to route in real time your packetized communications. And so I think that this is kind of a revolutionary thing that we're witnessing in the HP booth. Very exciting, and let's see the demo.
Okay, so if we look over here, this is the user experience right behind you. I don't know if the camera can get it or not.
It can, but I think I may be in the way.
This is the user experience we're used to, a really crappy, slow loading page, right? And this is without the solution enabled. So if I were to bring up, let's say, a PowerPoint presentation and start looking at that slide, it hasn't even shown on this other screen, but I could be done talking about it. In my controller, I am going to just enable this application. And if we look back over here at our client slide, we've seen that it's painted immediately. If I change a slide over here, we see it take effect immediately over there. I'll even bring up a video here and we can see that they're very much in sync. And that was all done completely dynamically, no programming from a network administrator point of view, and so very little, very easy to do, very simple and quick and dynamic.
You're a mastermind. I think that was like 45 seconds. You really did it. Nice job.
Perfect.
Eric, what's next?
So the last one, so we're going to demo number 4. So this should give you, hopefully these last two really give you a feel for the SDN applications, and we're not just talking about it. These are real applications that are able to be deployed on a network today. So the last part that I want to show you is all around our branch solutions. So we're kind of taking a little bit of a turn here, talk about branch solutions, but we have our MSR routers, and what we're really enabling now is branch solutions that have intelligence, that have applications running that are intelligent. And kind of to stay on the Microsoft Lync theme, I'm going to take you over and give you a quick demonstration of some branch-in-a-box type solutions that we're able to do today. So I'm joined here by Tom Sammons, who's a technical marketing engineer on our team and been a long time fan and expert on the UC, UC&C, whatever your favorite acronym is. Tom's been around it. And Tom, maybe you can just give everyone a quick walkthrough of what we're doing with our demonstration on the MSR branch solution.
I'd really like to. Thank you very much, Eric. Hi, everybody. Hey, what we're showing here at Interop with our Flex branch solutions is we're showing our multiple service routers and its interoperability with Microsoft Lync. We've been doing Microsoft's OIP certification program, and that's going to allow our MSRs to be a media gateway in a Microsoft Lync environment. So this way we can connect local analog devices or connect to the PSTN with analog FXO or digital T1 or E1 connectivity. It really gives our customers some choice in the ability to deploy a device like this router here that is in multiple services. So it has a built-in firewall, has encryption, it supports the voice, and LAN switching, and a whole lot of other services built into one device. So we think it's very powerful, and we've been showing it to a lot of folks here at the show today.
Thanks a lot. So Erik, what's next for the company? Anything else we should know?
Well, really last week last Tuesday on April 30th, we had a series of announcements, really the biggest data center related announcements that we've had in years. And so from our perspective, this really re-energizes us, repositions us in the data center, as we call it the Flex Fabric area, and we've relaunched our data center fabric. So a lot of new solutions are being enabled in the fabric, but also in addition to that, you can see around the show, it's not just about the data center. That's been our big push over the last few weeks leading up to the show. But we also have a lot of other applications and demonstrations. Unfortunately, we only really got to a few of them today, but there's a lot of other demonstrations as well around the booth showcasing these new technologies.
We're looking forward to seeing you on more videos and showcasing them in the future.
Perfect, great, thanks Rich, I appreciate it.